It is 7:39. Good morning. I'm meteorologist Josh Linger. Thank you for staying with us here for Weather on the Nines on your morning news. And we are tracking a line of showers and thunderstorms moving through the area. But I mentioned the clouds. Plenty of those still overhead. Low clouds in place right now. There's a good amount of dry air coming in aloft, and that will eventually allow those clouds to break up. So as we look at the satellite imagery here, boy, look at that eye. It's about 20 plus miles across, and it's coming on the coast right now. Also seeing a little bit of some rain or sprinkles coming through. In fact, we'll look here at Klystron 9, and there we go. There's one right around Tarpon Springs that was putting a couple of raindrops on the camera lens. Look here at Klystron 9 and see a couple of these showers rolling through, some in the Gulf of Mexico. This is actually very similar to the process that generates lake effect snowfall. It's colder air coming over the warmer waters. So here is the satellite imagery, and I've widened the view to show you the big picture. We have some active weather in the northern Gulf of Mexico lifting toward the north. A low pressure area well out toward the west will be the main weather pattern feature that will help to drive the weather systems through our area over the next couple of days. We have a ridge of high pressure in place protecting us from the storm systems, keeping us warm, and this flow of air kind of comes all the way up into the northeast, so that's why it's been mild. If you go back to last weekend, we were in the 60s, then we got just a little bit above average, and there we go, going up into the low 80s yesterday. Temperature's going to be running about 10 degrees below average, which if you're just stepping out to go to the supermarket or something like that, not so bad, but if you're out for hours, that can wear on you, so just make sure you are dressed appropriately for today, right? Yeah, you should definitely keep your plans. Have the umbrella handy in the car ready to go for whatever you might be doing today. There will be a couple of showers out there. Again, not really much of a big deal. So as we look here at Klystron 9, what I'm seeing this morning is a little bit of rainfall in Citrus County. Moving toward the north, and will be out of our area shortly. And then as we go through the day, just simply with the warmth that has returned and the humidity that is back in place, we will pop a couple of showers here and there. I am not expecting it to be that big of a deal for today. In fact, we've lowered our rain chances a little bit to about 20 to 30%, and then we'll increase them some more heading into tonight and tomorrow. So as we widen the view, there's definitely a large amount of rain here across the northern Gulf of Mexico, North Florida heading into the southeast. But what we're seeing are the trends here on radar, things just kind of lifting a little bit more toward the north. So for our area here, we're going to catch a couple of these spotty showers here and there, but the lion's share of the rain will remain well to the north of us today. As we look at the satellite imagery now, we're not going to escape the cloud cover today. There'll definitely be some clouds. Despite that, we will warm up as we go through the day. The main storm system is way back toward the north and east, and that's going to lift northeastward as well. And eventually, several days away, we'll pull in another round of some cooler air. So as we look at the computer model through the day, again, just sort of hit or miss a little showers here and there through the afternoon. Again, have the umbrella, but you probably won't need it today. As we go through the evening, for your Saturday night plans, there may be a shower or two overnight into tomorrow morning. And this is where we could see a couple of showers as well, but the southerly wind will be in place, and that will keep things on the warm and muggy side. By later tomorrow afternoon, we'll be watching some showers that'll be trying to come in for the afternoon hours. The other story this morning is the warmth. Much warmer than it has been, but it's comfortable. We're in the 60s in all locations this morning. So our forecast today, clouds mixed with some sunshine, a couple of showers. The high reaches 80 degrees. Tonight, we'll see mostly cloudy skies, scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm toward daybreak down to 71. And for tomorrow, partly sunny, scattered showers, a storm also possible. The rain chance goes up a little bit, still not all that high, the high of 82. Now, I'll be back with your 7-day. We'll talk about another cool down on the way. That's coming up in 10 minutes. But first, here's another look at Klystron 9. Good morning, and thank you for joining us here for Weather on the Nines. I'm meteorologist Josh Linger. What we're talking about this morning is warm and humid weather continuing around the area as we close out 2018 and begin next year. And we're also going to be dealing with some foggy times, some in the mornings and then along the coast later in the days. And we'll have that for a couple of days before some changes come up. And that's when we'll also get rid of the warmth and humidity and bring in some cooler weather by the first weekend of 2019. So that frontal boundary is to the north of us. It's pretty much falling apart. We remain warm and humid. We notice these clouds here coming in from southwest to northeast, and that is the flow of air aloft. The jet stream is translating that moisture in that direction. But we also see everything kind of going up and over our area. We're protected by a ridge of high pressure that is also keeping us warm. But things will change down the line as a cold front comes in and eventually changes up the weather pattern. So we've got a few more days of the warm and humid conditions with overnight overnight and coastal fog. And then by Thursday, that's when that front will come in, giving us a chance for some rain late in the day, perhaps lingering into Friday morning. And behind that front, we'll get some cooler weather. We'll go back below average for a couple of days. So for today, partly sunny skies come in. Some fog returns to coastal areas later in the day. We're going to have a light southerly component to the wind. Might come on shore later in the day. County by county, another warm day for you in Citrus County. 79 in Homosassa Springs, but 83 in Hernando. In Hernando County, we'll have a high of 84 in Brooksville. We notice things cooler along the coast. That'll be on account of an onshore wind coming over the cooler waters and or the coastal fog that will develop. Hudson at 77, but Dade City at 84 today. Temperatures in Polk County warm to about 83 to 84 under a partly sunny sky. It'll be a warm day in Manatee County for the most part. 84 in Lakewood Ranch, 82 Bradenton, just 73 for you along the coast at Anna Maria. Pinellas County will see a partly sunny sky with some fog coming back in. A high of 78 in Dunedin, Clearwater 76, Pinellas Park, you will warm to 78 degrees. And finally in Hillsborough County, it will be warm again, partly sunny. Tampa 82, Temple Terrace the same, Brandon at 82 degrees. Now, if you have boating plans, the only real issue will be the potential for some reduced visibility with that fog out there. Southeast wind light may switch to the north-northwest. A light chop is expected on the inland waters. And around Tampa Bay and the Suncoast, same kind of thing here. Areas of fog southeast to northwest wind at 10. A light chop is expected on the inland waters in Tampa Bay. Here's your 7-day forecast, and we'll stay warm. Tuesday 79 for New Year's Day, 80 on Wednesday, lows in the low to mid 60s by then. Thursday I put in a rain chance later in the day, 74. And on Friday, there you go, we'll bring back that cooler weather at 64. Next Saturday, sunshine will return with a high of 66 after a chilly morning. That's your 7-day forecast. Here's the latest pollen forecast. It is for the next 3 days. And we're getting into the higher category now. This is brought to you by Famous Tate Appliance and Bedding Centers. It's time now for the latest from Klystron 9. So to recap, we have a tornado warning that goes until 9:15 for northern Pinellas and southwest Pasco. I'll put that zone back on again so you can see the box right in here, this red outline. That is where we have that tornado warning. What we're looking at is we've been tracking an area of rotation out in the Gulf of Mexico. I've been watching this thing for the better part of about an hour and a half to 2 hours from earlier this morning, way out in the Gulf, heading toward the northeast, and it continues to march on. It maintains its signature. I'll show you that here as we look at the wind, and I'll turn the box off here so we can see what's happening. Right in here, this brighter red that you see, we also have right on the leading edge of it, because there's a couple of things going on here. A little jet stream energy coming in to kind of push things out. And we've noticed a lot of stronger wind here just out ahead of that area. I'll get a little bit closer, show you what's happening here. Right on the edge here of southwest Pasco County. We'll look at some of the winds that are in place here. 48 miles per hour, 45 miles per hour. 47, 45. So we are looking at 40 to 50 mile an hour winds in this area, and there had been a signature of rotation, and we can still see that here as it moves toward the northeast at this time. Very, very quickly, what I'm actually going to do is I'll widen the view a little bit. We'll get a little bit closer to this spot because I really want to put a storm tracker on this here for you. Moving toward the northeast, we'll get rid of some of those numbers, and here is the storm track, and right around Anclote Key toward the northeast at 35 miles per hour. There we go. We're going to put it in the Newport Richey area in 10 minutes. Moon Lake Estates in 20, and should it hold together, we'll get all the way toward Shady Hills in about 29 minutes as it moves out toward the northeast. Now, what we do with our storm tracks, you notice here it's a little bit wider on the end. That's to account for a little bit of uncertainty as to the exact path as to where it is going. But if it maintains its header, it would stay right along this line. But some of these communities just to the north and south of that line are still in harm's way with that particular storm. Anywhere here from Holiday over toward the Trinity area, we want to keep an eye out for you as that is moving in toward the east-northeast at this time. Let's get a little bit closer, show you who's under the gun here. We're looking at Elfers. This is 54 now. This is Trinity, Little Road in this area. This is US 19. This is where Alt 19 comes into US 19, and this is the area now that is getting some very heavy wind or strong wind as this area moves toward the northeast. So if you're just tuning in, you were sitting around in southwest Pasco and the weather started to turn pretty bad for you, you are under a tornado warning until 9:15. Hello, I'm meteorologist Josh Linker. Thank you for joining us here for Weather on the Nines. Well, this month has been very wet. We've had a couple of rain events, but the last week has been pretty dry, but we're still way above average. 8.69 inches of rain has fallen in December, and I don't really see any more opportunities through the rest of the month, ultimately the rest of the year, for any real chance of measurable rainfall. So we'll end up more than 6 inches above normal by the time December finishes. And for the year, we're way above normal as well. And we'll be talking about that coming up in the next couple of days. As we look at the satellite imagery here, lots of clouds in place. The flow of air is coming in from the southwest. This is the flow of air aloft, and that sets us up for quiet conditions here. At the surface, we have a light southerly component to the wind that's keeping the humidity up and has allowed some of that fog to be in place. Here's the water vapor satellite imagery. This shows us where the moisture is higher up in the atmosphere. The blue is the moisture, so we've got a lot of extra clouds in place. But we kind of make out how things are moving, just like this. And there's this ridge of high pressure building in. So that's going to keep the storm systems away for the next several days. We'll go to about Thursday, and that's when the next opportunity for some changeable weather will be coming in. Cooler along the coast through the afternoon, but most spots will still get to the low 80s. Coastal fog will come in this evening, and temperatures will hold in the 70s. Now, the big weather story around the country is that the storm systems haven't gotten going just yet. We have very quiet conditions, a couple of little spotty areas of precipitation around the nation, but there's a lot of cold air out there everywhere except for here in the southeast. Florida stays warm, the southeast on the mild side, but a lot of folks are feeling winter across the country today. That'll last for the next few days, and eventually that cooler air comes our way, and we'll tell you when with the 7-day forecast. It's coming up in less than 10 minutes. But first, here's another look at Klystron 9. I want to show you this. This is our radar, Klystron 9, from our location in Tampa Bay. This is Panama City. The X that I've drawn is the center of the eye, and that's how it's determined where landfall formally occurs. The eye wall has come inland, and it looks like the center is crossing the coast right now, not too far from Tyndall Air Force Base, southeast of Panama City. Mexico Beach is right over here, so also in the eye wall. So there are these locations now where the weather has calmed down, and it's going to pick up again as that eye passes back from the southwest, and then of course it'll go inland and the storm will weaken to an extent. So as we look at the satellite imagery here, boy, look at that eye. It's about 20 plus miles across, and it's coming on the coast right now. The vantage point here, it's a little bit tilted, so it looks like it's farther inland than that radar picture showed, but it is crossing the coastline right now.